This time on the Cheetah Diaries, it's moving day for cubs Elsa and Zingula.
I suppose we should just open up and see what happens.
Mercedes spends a rainy night with her new boyfriend.
Hopefully the rain will make them feel more romantic and snuggly.
Just how many pups has Janet had?
From the vet's visit, we were told that there was possibly 2.
And Mother Nature deals Cheetah Outreach a heavy blow.
Very uncertain times for us. We obviously can't come back here.
It's all change at the cub house. Girls Elsa and Zingula are off to meet the public. And cub handler Emily is going back home to Scotland.
It's the end of the road for me and for the girls in a way, because they're at the stage where they're going up to the main facility. And that would normally be when we would leave things. But this year it's completely different. We've still got a whole new batch of cubs to grow, haven't we? We have the cheeky ones, don't we, Egg? That'd be you. And then still got a couple of scaredy cats in the back there, so Dew and Fleet. So yeah, it's a bit strange for me because I kind of feel like I'm leaving at the end and leaving right in the middle. But I'll be very sad to go, as always. These cubs have a way of worming their way into your heart.
But there's no time to dwell, as Emily helps Elsa and Zingula with their big day ahead at Cheetah Outreach.
Okay, Mandy.
They're finally old enough to start their careers as cheetah ambassadors. But are the girls ready?
I suppose we should just open up and see what happens.
Hey, girls.
So we've got Joseph in the enclosure next to us that the girls are focusing on now. He's one of our most experienced ambassadors here at Cheetah Outreach, and he's met hundreds of thousands of people, I'm sure, during his career as an ambassador. So the girls could learn a lot from him. He's a fantastic cheetah.
Elsa and Zingula are not the only new arrivals at Cheetah Outreach. Batted fox mum Janet has given birth to 5 fluffy pups.
We were aware that Janet had delivered during the night. She had reduced in size. From the vet's visit, we were told that there was possibly 2. On the first few days, we saw 3. The next day, we saw 4. And then we didn't see the 5th one probably for a couple of days. I mean, we're making an assumption she had 5 and not any more. We've never seen any more. And they've all been very confident. You know, they do come out, particularly first thing in the morning when it's quiet at the facility.
Thankfully, these pups have had an easier start than Janet's first litter. Things have not been easy for the Fox family. New parents Brad and Janet had to be separated from their cubs just hours after giving birth.
A couple of hours ago, one of the volunteers found the bad-eared fox mom eating one of the pups.
The surviving pups were rescued from the den and hand-raised away from their parents.
But we did make the decision this time to leave them to raise them completely on their own. And that's what happened, and it has been a fantastic experience. Father does take the main caregiver role, and that's exactly what's happened. They feed from Janet, and then it's Brad that actually cleans them and does the grooming. And I think you can see they are just, all 5 pups that we have are just so healthy and so active. So I think it's a fantastic decision that we, made this time to leave them. We had a good outcome last time. In the end, it took a while, whereas this time we seem to have that happy story right from the beginning.
The cubs seem to have settled in well at Cheetah Outreach. Now it's time to see if all the ambassador training has paid off.
We've got our first proper guests at Cheetah Outreach who are going to meet the cubs now, so really exciting. And this is really nice for me because I'm learning from Mandy now. She's teaching me how to be a proper cheetah handler. So yeah.
Who do you think's a little bit more settled? We'll go around this way, we'll approach from the back again.
No, they were born on the same day, but they not from the same litter.
Oh, wow.
But they grew up together.
So what do they think of seeing a bigger cheetah over there? Are
They, in the beginning, they were quite unsure. They just checking out if it's safe and then ran up to one of us. But we put Joseph next to him. He's our big teddy bear, and he's very gentle. He's 10 years old already, so he's fully grown.
It's just a surreal experience to be this close to these wild animals and just see how playful they are, and just it's just the most incredible experience. It's phenomenal.
Now I have story to tell when I get back to Australia.
So it's really nice this year for me to have done the whole journey with the cubs. It's a new experience for me, bringing them up to the facility and seeing how things work at this end. It's lovely to have had that reassurance myself to see where they're going to be, how they've reacted initially, and know that they're settling in before I have to say goodbye. But it's going to be difficult. As it always is, to say goodbye. I think the most poignant thing is when you spent all this time with these cubs, making a bond, bringing them up, and the moment that always kills me is when you just look at a cub just give them one look and they start purring. Pretty amazing feeling. But yeah, it's not quite the same feeling when your domestic cat comes and sits on you as a 15-kilo cheetah. Don't tell my cat I said that, but
For many years, Aikendale Wine Farm has been Cheetah Outreach's guard dog nursery. But right now, what's missing is the pitter-patter of puppy paws. Today, breeding female Mercedes is being introduced to new male Captain for the first time. The hope is a litter of pups.
So Captain is here on a breeding loan. He's come down from Hanneli Liebenberg, who's a breeder we've sourced a lot of dogs from. Mercedes came into heat, and Hanneli very generously offered to have us take Captain over for a few months on this breeding loan. Mercedes likes him quite a bit. We're very hopeful that we'll have a big litter of puppies from them.
They're wonderful guard dogs, but a little bit scared of thunder. It's the little things that scare you, isn't it, my girl? Not the big things like leopard and stuff.
Hopefully the rain will make them feel more romantic and snuggly.
But it looks like the storm is going to drown out any romance. As a severe weather warning is issued, everyone is battening down the hatches. A disaster has struck at Aikendal. As the storm passes, the day breaks over a scene of destruction.
Last night, between 11 and 12 somewhere, a dam wall just on top of Aikendal broke. And obviously the flood came through here, washed away the kennels and the dogs and the fencing and what have you. So we did a massive search, a lot of us came in. And as soon as we got the phone call, there was no thinking or hesitation. We all just came directly and jumped in, starting to look for them. So these dogs did not escape when fences went down. These poor dogs were actually washed away as well. They all came out in one piece, none of them drowned, all got washed into the dam, which is just down the bottom over there. It's an absolute miracle. We managed to find all 3 our sheep, 1 goat. We heard the 1 goat at one point, so we went looking for it, but couldn't find it. So we were resuming the search this morning, but the farm workers told us, unfortunately, that one did end up in the dam, and there was no way of saving that one. Pandora's got a bit of a swelling on her leg. Probably got injured by a piece of fence or something last night. We also pulled porcupine quills out of her chest. Obviously it wasn't even, it was literally just in the skin. But so Pandora is limping a bit, but she's active. These guys are fighters. They're strong dogs. They placed on farms in all kinds of elements. I'm sure they don't get put in floods all the time, but these guys are survivors. And these guys have proved it.
I'm just grateful that they survived. They were very traumatized. They were very unhappy last night. Jem seemed to be almost the worst, apart from the 2 old ladies next door. None of them have ever had anything like that. Terrified about what's going on here and how we're ever going to get it fixed, but just so happy that I've got my animals.
You can definitely see that they're all still a bit shaken. You can see from their body posture and the way they're just very hesitant to go anywhere, and they just seem out of sorts at the moment.
The dogs go off to the kennels until a new home is found, and the other flooded animals head to the main facility.
Ja, net as die redding opkry vir jy hond weer uitspring.
With the dogs and sheep safe, Yogi checks on the cubs. Liv has taken over from Emily. For her, the flood is a baptism of fire.
The girls called me last night and in a bit of a panic that the kitchen was flooding, came to see what was going on, and it was absolutely covered. Mud had flooded through the port into the kitchen on its way to the cub room. Thank goodness the girls had put towels and bedding at the front of the cub room and it hadn't gone into there.
Having narrowly escaped death, the cubs will now have to be moved. Their cub house has been deemed structurally unsound.
Hopefully they'll be okay when they go to the facility. It's going to be quite a big thing for them because the only place they've been is into the garden, and they've been for one drive before, so this is all quite new. Hopefully they'll be relaxed. The 2 younger ones tend to be a bit more confident than the older ones, so hopefully they'll look after the older ones and we'll be okay together. We'll see how it goes.
Liv is particularly worried about little cub Fleet, who is the most skittish of the lot.
They'll relax when they get there, I'm hoping.
While the cubs are on the move, Cheetah Outreach founder Annie walks through the ruins at Aikendal and considers the future of the organisation in the wake of the flooding.
think this year we, for the first time, will not have any puppies born because of this disaster. When I recollect all the years we've been here, the early beginnings, all the cubs we've raised here, all the dogs we've bred here, now it's been reduced to this. Very uncertain times for us. We obviously can't come back here. Although this looks like a major blow to the wild cheetah, in fact, I think the opportunities that we're going to have will mean that we're going to be able to better deliver for that conservation program, and that's really what it's all about.
The cubs have arrived at Cheetah Outreach, but relocating them is proving to be difficult, especially for nervous cub Fleet.
This is going to be terrible, putting Fleet in there on her own. They're going to run out. Close the gate, please.
Because they are so young, the cubs will have to be kept separate from the other animals until their vaccinations are up to date. For now, their sanctuary is the spare bedroom inside the main house.
Okay, who's next?
Anybody next?
This is Fleet. Liv decided to do her while her sister was still in there. Yeah, Fleet's not as confident as the others. She's very nervous. She gets very scared. So the concern was that she would be in the crate on her own and she would scare her even more. So we did it while Egg was still in there, so she didn't feel so intimidated.
Hey, look at your new room.
They look like they're having a ball. Yeah.
So yeah, after a rather long night sorting out the havoc at the cub house, it's quite nice to see them in and settling down now. And with us not having very much sleep, it's probably about time that we had a bit of a rest as well. Now these guys are looking a bit better, looking calm.
It's been quite a year for Cheetah Outreach and their efforts to save the wild cheetah from extinction. Annie Beck-Helling started out back in 1997 with 1 cheetah and 1 hectare of land.
Well, Annie, there's a team of...
This year, Cheetah Outreach left their much-loved home at Spear Wine Farm and relocated to a bigger and better facility, Paardenvlei.
Sad to leave Spear, but it'd be great to be here, won't it?
It's just going to be beautiful.
After 17 years, Cheetah Outreach now has 7 ambassador cats that meet the public and spread the word about the plight of the cheetah. Every day, cats like Joseph and Chobi meet visitors who get to touch, sense, and save the experience, bringing home the message. Our ambassador cheetahs have had highs and lows, gracing the covers of magazines and battling health problems.
Even though he must have been very uncomfortable, he was actually his normal, sweet, gentle self.
While one of our boys even made it up the aisle.
That, of course, is the whole motto for Cheetah Outreach, is to be able to get up close and personal and change your view and your perception of things.
Stroke him with a nice, firm, flat hand. That's perfect.
Well, I actually didn't know they were endangered until now, because I thought there were lots of them. But obviously there aren't that many.
Great experience. It's the first time I get to interact with these wild animals.
Every year, Cheetah Outreach raises and trains cubs to become cheetah ambassadors that are sent overseas to take the cheetah conservation story worldwide.
These cats are going to be ambassadors for their species and working with the public, spreading the message about cheetah conservation. So we want the human bond to be really strong and have no problem meeting the public. She's definitely the most friendly. She likes the most attention.
There he is.
Today, Uist and Koza are waving the Cheetah Outreach banner down under at Australia Zoo.
Hey!
And Vela and Wei are spreading the word in Virginia, America.
It's okay, my girl. Yes, I know. It's definitely going to be hard to see them go, but luckily they're going to America, which is where I'm from. I definitely plan on going to visit them and seeing them again.
And the latest lot of 5 survived the flood. Now that they've had some time to settle in, how are Do, Egg, Fleet, Harris and Gunner finding life at Cheetah Outreach?
Fleet's being brave.
And has Liv got the hang of it?
Normally, Emily would be here for kind of backup and support. I hope she'd be proud. She'd be proud of the cubs now. She says she's proud of me, so I hope I've done her proud.
Today, there are only 7,500 cheetah left in the wild, and less than 1,000 are found in South Africa. The main threat to cheetah is habitat loss.
The biggest challenge is to keep a sustainable environment where the wild predators like cheetah and leopard can stay in the environment.
This year, the Anatolian Guard Dog program made big strides in opening up farmland to the wild cheetah. Annie visited working dogs Harley and Chobi to see conservation in action.
This, in the end, is going to make the difference for the cheetahs. This will actually, in the long run, make the difference.
So far, they've placed over 75 more dogs along the border with Botswana and now in the Limpopo province, both areas rich with roaming wild cheetah.
Welcome.
Okay.
And a partnership across the border could be on the cards.
And I think it's a wonderful solution. It's helping because since then we didn't have any losses.
Oh, I'm glad it's working.
So it's great to know that our neighbours are also, coming up with pioneering and simple, innovative techniques that can be used well, to protect the livestock.
At Cheetah Outreach, friendships are for life.
Zaza is kind of difficult to talk about, but she's very special to us.
She is part of the family. She's like my child. She and Savannah were my children.
But I will treasure the moments with Zaza forever.
The experience I've gained from Cheetah Outreach will never be able to be replaced. And it's been a real treat to get to know each one of them and to work hands-on and just be a part of everything that Cheetah Outreach aims to achieve.
It's been also a complete privilege. It's just amazing to work with the cheetahs.
Despite all the trials and tribulations, Cheetah Outreach remains dedicated to their cause, to spread the story of the endangered African cheetah.